What is ERC, the Employee Retention Credit? Simply put, it is a little known stimulus package that was released way back in March of 2020. And yes, there have been so many changes. So I want to give you the latest information. I even have this cool chart I'm going to show you to see if you qualify and how much money your business can potentially get. So you're not going to want to miss this. So you heard right. The ERC, Employee Retention Credit, is something that's available to businesses all the way back from March 13th, 2020, all the way through the end of Q3 of 2021. So we're talking business owners with W-2 employees. You could have a business of 100 employees or less. For 2021, it's 500 employees or less. And it's not just limited to mom and pop shops. This isn't something that is, in conflict with other government programs like stimulus checks, PPP. You could still get this even if you got all that money as well. In fact, public organizations, we're talking, universities, nonprofits, even tribal businesses, they all can qualify for ERC. All right, I'm going to flash on the screen right now this awesome chart. It's going to break down who qualifies, all the years and everything. But before we do that, please smash that like button. It's going to get the video out to more people, and I really appreciate it. Okay, so here we go. I've partnered with the good folks at the ERC Specialists, and they are a new company. I mean, this is new legislation. They're only, you're not going to find a company that's 10 years old doing this. They are a new company that I've personally vetted, met with the CEO, and their sole purpose is to help business owners with W-2 employees who qualify for ERC to file the appropriate paperwork with the IRS and get their money. Now, this is of no upfront cost to you. They take a small fee when you get paid, and that fee is actually reduced if you end up wanting to prepay or something. But anyway, let's dive into this chart here. As you can see, if we take a look at just 2020, I'll kind of box it right here. You can see that the time period and how much money you can get per employee, that we're talking maximums here, is from March 13th, 2020, all the way to December 31st, 2020. And they're essentially going to give you $5,000 per employee max. Now, of course, that's a lot of money. I mean, if you got 10 employees, we're talking upwards of $50,000. And remember, this is not like a loan. It's not like free money. This is money you've already paid. The IRS is going to give it back to you because of this governmental program. Now, let's take a look right here at a couple of qualifiers. There is, and you've probably heard of this, a revenue qualifier. Now, what that means is if 50% of your gross receipts were in decline in 2020 when you compare it to 2019, then you're going to qualify for the whole year there. That's pretty straightforward, but there are other qualifiers. If we look at this one here, this is actually going to apply to 2020 and 2021. They call it the partial or full suspension qualifier. Now, simply put, if your business or trade was partially suspended because there was a governmental mandate that placed restrictions, you got to close your doors, you got to have reduced capacity, then you could qualify for ERC even if you were doing better in 2020 and 2021 compared to 2019. Now, that's to say you can still continue doing your business, but the governmental shutdowns basically interrupted your typical operations. And very recently, there's one more qualifier. It's like a supply chain disruption. It's actually not on this chart yet, but I know that it'll be added at some point. Imagine that your business is impacted nominally, which means more than 10%, because you can't get the supplies you need. So again, this is going to bring in a whole slew of essential businesses. Think of the manufacturers. I was talking to one of my auto mechanics. He was like, yeah, we never shut down. We actually did better than before. It's I know, but if you couldn't get the parts you needed because you do, let's say tires, transmissions, then your business, your typical operations were more than nominally impacted. As a result, that's another qualifier. And again, you're probably going to be able to get some money both in 2020 and 2021. Now, let's move on over to 2021. As you can see here, it's going to only apply this ERC to quarter 1, 2, and 3. there was some recent legislation that actually said, yeah, we're not going to include quarter 4 in 2021. If that changes, I'll make another video, but right now, those are the rules. Now, what was really helpful is they kind of made things more flexible for 2021. Take a look here. You can get up to $7,000, not just for the whole year, but per quarter, per employee. So again, we kind of went through those qualifications already, whether it is the revenue qualifier, which I'll get into in one second because it's actually a little bit more generous, the full or partial suspension qualifier, or even that nominal supply chain disruption. If any of those boxes can be checked for your business, then you could qualify for 2021. However, it is per quarter. So if you take a look right here, what they're going to say is that for that revenue qualifier, you had at least a 20% gross receipt decline compared to 2019. So when you look at, say, quarter 1 of 2021 compared it to quarter 1 of 2019, if you had a gross receipt like decline of 20% or more, you're going to qualify for quarter 1. And again, it's very generous. So if you know your numbers were down and you're going to go through quarter by quarter, I got a very good feeling if your numbers were down that you're going to qualify for more than one quarter in 2021. Now, of course, in 2021, there were other types of shutdowns. You probably remember, like I do, some things started to like open back up. People were even traveling, and then it just kind of got shut down again. So those partial or full suspensions, again, the good folks at the ERC specialists, they're compiling a list of all of them from state to federal. So if we can get that documentation, if you know it applies to you, then again, it's going to be worth your while to apply for this ERC credit. And the last thing I'll point out about this table here is that if you were what they refer to as a recovery startup business, meaning that your business actually started after February 15th, 2020, you can still qualify regardless of the governmental shutdowns or your revenue. Now, I know this only applies to like a small subsection of businesses, but I mean, think of like that food truck that, or that entrepreneur that just opened up, hired a few employees. You can get up to a maximum of $50,000 per quarter. All right, so some key takeaways that I just want to leave you with is that if your business has not already qualified for the ERC credit, then I'm going to leave a link down below in the description to the ERC specialist. This is a company based out of Utah whose sole purpose is to help people get their payroll reports filed with the IRS so that they can get this tax credit back. They work very quickly, and there's no messing around. There's no like, hey, is this too good to be true? Like, hey, can I fudge something? No, there's none of that. So if that's what you're thinking, don't even bother, because they are getting people in line with the IRS very efficiently and quickly. I've really enjoyed working with them so far. However, the IRS is taking their sweet time. They typically accept these 941 forms and take like a few months to process, and then getting you your money is going to take even a few more months. So once more people learn about this, the line's just going to get longer. So if you're interested, again, I'll leave a link down below in the description. Also, I want to invite you to our private Discord group. This is a mentorship group that I recently started. We're calling it the Millionaire Movement. And this is a place where we can interact daily. Think of it like a Slack channel, a place where I can post exactly what I'm thinking. I don't have to make a whole video on it. So I'll leave a link again down below in the description if you're interested in joining that. You get some personal contact with me, and it's a group of other like-minded entrepreneurs, business owners, and I think you'll really enjoy kind of like diving into that, so check it out. Also, if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to like this video. It really helps get the word out, and hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. All right, as always, I'm Rich, and until next time.